Ladies and gentlemen, listen very carefully because what I am about to share with you is deeply disturbing and absolutely crucial for you to understand. There comes a precise moment when a person does not merely behave in a harmful way. They actually transform into a force of destruction themselves. When a narcissist fully surrenders to the darkness, when they discard every sense of right and wrong, and when they embrace cruelty without hesitation, that is when they cross a line that most people cannot even comprehend. Pay close attention to this. You see, many people like to think of evil as a vague idea or something that belongs in stories. That is not true. Evil is very real. It moves through individuals, it tempts them, pulls them in, and slowly takes over their spirit until they stop resisting altogether. Narcissists are perfect hosts for this because their entire existence is built on deception, manipulation, and an endless hunger for control. Now, here is what you must understand clearly. This is not about someone being arrogant or selfish. This goes far beyond that. This is something much darker. When a narcissist reaches the point of no return, when they finally abandon what is left of their soul, there are three unmistakable signs that appear. These are not harmless personality traits. These are serious warning signals. These are blaring alarms that show something truly sinister has taken hold. If you fail to notice these signs or choose to ignore them, you are stepping directly into the reach of someone who no longer governs themselves. You are dealing with someone who has traded their humanity for something far worse. Take a moment and reflect on this. Have you ever encountered someone who drains the energy from every space they enter, who seems to grow stronger from the suffering of others, and who manipulates with such cold precision that it feels mechanical? That is not normal behavior. That is someone who has gone beyond the limit. And here is the harsh truth. Once they cross that boundary, there is no return. You cannot reason with them. You cannot save them. They do not want to be saved. They have chosen lies over truth, destruction over creation, and power over love. If you allow them into your life, if you play their games, or if you believe you can outsmart them, you are putting yourself in serious danger. So listen closely, because I am going to reveal the three frightening signs that a narcissist has completely handed themselves over to evil. If you recognize even one of these signs in someone close to you, walk away. Leave immediately and protect yourself. You are not just dealing with a difficult or toxic person. You are dealing with something far more dangerous. There was a time when they hid behind a mask. They pretended to be good. They at least tried to convince others that they were decent and capable of human feeling. But that phase is over now. When a narcissist fully gives in to the darkness and surrenders their soul, they do not just cause pain. They enjoy it. And that is where the real nightmare begins. At first, the changes are subtle. You notice a shift in how they behave. They no longer simply argue with you. They mock you. They do not just deceive you, they take pleasure in the chaos they create. There is a disturbing sense of comfort in their eyes when they watch someone fall apart. There is a smile when they see sadness and a spark of excitement when they realize they have broken someone's spirit or made them doubt their own sanity. Most people hurt others out of anger, fear, or weakness. These individuals do it by choice. They do it because it energizes them. The pain of others gives them a feeling of strength that nothing else can match. That is how you know this is no longer a simple personality flaw. This is something far more sinister at work. Watch their face the next time they shame someone, lie to make you question your reality, or intentionally wound someone emotionally. Do they appear remorseful? Do they seem confused or regretful? Or do they look entertained? Do their eyes light up with a twisted sense of satisfaction? Do they lean in, eager to witness the emotional damage they have caused? If so, you are no longer dealing with someone who has a functioning heart. You are dealing with someone who has abandoned it entirely. What makes this even more terrifying is that they do not reserve this behavior only for people they dislike. They inflict it on everyone, including friends, family members, and even their own children. The closer someone is to them, the more powerful they feel when they tear them down. That is why nothing you do is ever enough. You can give them loyalty, love, and support, and it still will not satisfy them. They need to see you suffer. In their mind, pain is currency. Power is measured by how much they can destroy. If they can break you, confuse you, or make you doubt what is real, they believe they have won. And the worst part is that it never stops. There is no moment where they pause and realize they have gone too far. That moment simply does not exist for them. So pay attention, look at their expressions, watch the way they smile when someone else is hurting. Notice the dark look in their eyes when they know they have caused damage. That is not normal and it is not human. If you think they will change or suddenly feel remorse one day, you are wrong. In the past, they hid their dishonesty. They covered their tracks with half-truths designed to make you doubt yourself. But now they do not even bother hiding anymore. They have reached a point where reality is whatever they decide it is in that moment. They lie constantly, without fear, without hesitation, and without the slightest trace of guilt. What makes this truly frightening is that they often believe their own lies. You can present them with undeniable proof, written evidence, or clear facts, and it will make no difference. They will look directly at you and insist you are wrong. They will tell you it never happened. They will accuse you of being the problem. And they will do it with such confidence that for a moment you may question your own memory. This is not just lying. This is the erasure of reality itself. They rewrite history as it unfolds and expect you to accept it without question. If you resist or challenge them, they immediately turn everything against you. Suddenly, you are the untrustworthy one. You are the unstable one. You are the liar. They twist the story so smoothly that even people who witness the truth begin to doubt themselves. This is how they maintain control. They do not just manipulate people, they manipulate reality. And the more they succeed, the bolder they become. They begin testing boundaries by inventing stories so outrageous that you assume no one could possibly believe them. But they do. And if they do not at first, they force themselves to. Because at this stage, the truth no longer matters. Only the version that benefits them counts. This is where it becomes truly disturbing. They do not just lie about what they have done. They lie about who they are. Their entire identity is fabricated. One moment they are the victim, the misunderstood soul who has suffered endlessly. The next moment they are the hero, the savior who is always right. They switch roles effortlessly, becoming whatever version will bring them the most sympathy, admiration, or control. If you ever try to expose them or speak the truth, be prepared. They will destroy your reputation before they ever allow themselves to be exposed. They will turn people against you and paint you as the manipulative one, the liar, or the unstable person. And most people will believe them. By the time you try to defend yourself, they have already planted the story and rewritten the narrative. Once their version of events takes hold, it is nearly impossible to undo. In the beginning, they pretended to care. They mimicked emotions. They acted as if they felt guilt or regret. But now, there is nothing left. There is no hesitation, no inner conflict, no moral boundary. They hurt, betray, and destroy while feeling absolutely nothing. Watch them closely. When most people cause harm, it weighs on them. Even if they deny it, something inside them knows the truth. They may lose sleep or wonder if they crossed a line. But for a narcissist who has fully surrendered to the darkness, that inner voice is gone. They do not lose sleep. They do not question themselves. They take what they want, break whoever stands in their way, and move on as if nothing happened. If you confront them or show them the damage they have caused, they will stare back with empty eyes. Or worse, they will smirk, amused that you still believe they have a conscience or are capable of regret. They will watch you cry, they will watch you suffer, and the only thing they will feel is satisfaction. In their mind, your pain is proof of their victory. What makes this even more dangerous is that nothing restrains them anymore. The fear of consequences is gone. Shame no longer exists. Guilt has no place in their world. That is why their behavior escalates. Their betrayals become more severe. Their destruction grows larger because nothing stops them. They will shatter trust without hesitation, manipulate without pause, and ruin reputations without a second thought. And they will walk away untouched, unchanged, and completely indifferent to the devastation left behind. They will steal, cheat, lie, and destroy connections not because they are forced to, but because they choose to. They feel empowered by destruction. Every time they escape consequences, it reinforces the belief that they are untouchable. Here is the truly terrifying reality. They do not care who gets hurt in the process. It makes no difference if you are a friend, a partner, a child, or a parent. If you stand in their way, you become expendable. If tearing you down benefits them in any way, the decision is already made in their mind. They will look straight into your eyes and tell you they love you, and in that same moment, they will quietly plan your downfall without feeling an ounce of guilt. To them, life is nothing more than a game or a battlefield where there are only winners and losers. They will do whatever is necessary to make sure they never lose. If that means discarding people, they will do it without hesitation. If it means stepping on those who trusted them, they often enjoy it even more. When someone has no guilt, no regret, and no emotional core, nothing is off limits. They no longer simply deceive people, they manipulate reality itself. Their control is no longer just psychological. It feels almost unreal, as if they have learned how to bend perception and twist truth at will. They pull the strings of everyone around them with frightening precision. They do not just lie randomly. Every word and every move is calculated. Even their silence has purpose. Every pause, every look, every delay is designed to push others into submission. The most frightening part is that most people never notice it happening. It begins with small details, a subtle change in tone, a lingering glance, or a perfectly timed silence. They know exactly how to make you doubt yourself and question your instincts. They drop small hints and plant ideas, leaving just enough uncertainty to make you wonder if your own thoughts can be trusted. Once you start questioning yourself, they have already won because now they control the narrative. It does not stop with words. They dominate the emotional atmosphere. When you enter a room with them, you can feel it immediately. Their presence takes over the space even when they say nothing. They guide conversations with a single look. They can make someone feel worthless with one cruel glance or make someone else feel invincible with the right compliment. They do not just understand human psychology, they weaponize it. What makes it worse is that they know how to make their victims dependent on them. They create chaos, break a person down piece by piece, and then present themselves as the only source of safety. One moment they push someone to the edge, and the next moment they play the hero who claims to be the only one who can fix the damage they caused. This is not simple manipulation. This is mental captivity. They pit people against each other with terrifying ease. They whisper half-truths and plant seeds of doubt that spread like poison. Before long, friends become enemies and partners turn into rivals, all while the narcissist watches from the sidelines. When everything collapses, they always emerge as the victim or the misunderstood figure that everyone turns to for answers. If you think you can outplay them, think again. While you are reacting, they are already several steps ahead. While you are trying to defend yourself, they are planting the next lie. They do not play by rules, they invent them. And the moment you believe you understand them, they change the game entirely. They are not just manipulators, they are architects of illusion. They do not merely lie, they reshape reality to fit their distorted version of truth. Once they trap you in their web and rewrite the story so thoroughly that you cannot tell what is real anymore, they know they have control over you. There was a time when they pretended to be good. They wore the mask of morality and acted as if they respected honesty and decency. Those days are gone. Now they do not just reject goodness, they mock it. They do not simply ignore faith, they despise it. If you watch closely, you will see it in how they speak, how they behave, and how they react to anything pure or sincere. They do not just avoid truth, they attack it. They belittle those who have faith and laugh at people who believe in doing what is right. They try to tear down anyone who lives with integrity. They do this because truth exposes who they really are. Faith reminds them of what they will never be. Goodness acts like a mirror they cannot tolerate. Instead of facing that reflection, they attempt to destroy it. Pay attention to their reactions. When someone talks about love, honor, or responsibility, they scoff and sneer. Goodness unsettles them. They cannot stand being near anything pure because it highlights the emptiness inside them. Instead of changing or striving to be better, they would rather poison everything around them. They prefer dragging others into darkness rather than admitting that light exists. They laugh at the idea of being accountable or the thought of a higher power seeing through their lies. They behave as if they are untouchable, as if they are their own gods and no one can judge them. That is when you know they have crossed a dangerous line. Once someone truly believes they answer to no one, there is nothing they will not do. Here is the chilling truth. They do not just abandon goodness in themselves, they try to destroy it in others. They will test you and push you to betray your own values. They will ridicule your beliefs and make you feel foolish for having principles. They want you to give in because the weaker you become, the more power they gain. The moment you stand firm and refuse to break, their true nature is revealed. The mask disappears. The charm fades. What remains is something cold, cruel, and deeply hostile toward goodness. They will explode in anger, not because they are powerful, but because they cannot tolerate anything they cannot corrupt. That is when you realize this is not just a difficult personality. It is something far darker. There is something deeply unsettling about their presence. You sense it before you can explain it. It is not just their actions or their words. It is the energy they carry. Their presence feels heavy, draining, and suffocating. Being near them is like walking through dense fog where your thoughts scatter and your spirit feels weighed down. This is not coincidence or imagination. When someone has fully surrendered to darkness, their presence alone can harm others. You will notice it in how you feel after spending time with them. You may begin the day feeling clear and strong, but after an hour with them, you feel exhausted and confused. It feels as if something has been taken from you without your consent. Without realizing it, they drain you. They take pieces of you bit by bit. Narcissists do not rely only on words, they use energy. They feed on emotional reactions and grow stronger by creating conflict and chaos. The more you try to engage with them, the weaker you feel. They surround themselves with an invisible field of negativity, creating an environment where peace cannot exist, clarity disappears, and everything feels wrong. This is not accidental, it is intentional. The more exhausted you are, the easier you are to control. The more emotionally empty you feel, the less likely you are to stand up for yourself. That is why every conversation feels like a battle, and every interaction leaves you questioning yourself. You begin doubting your thoughts, your memories, and your sense of reality. If you gather the courage to confront them or point out the damage they cause, watch their response carefully. They will not reflect or accept responsibility. Instead, they will turn it back on you. They will accuse you of being negative, dramatic, or unstable. Before you realize it, you are defending yourself, wasting even more energy trying to prove what you already know in your core. This is why being around them never feels peaceful. This is why no amount of effort ever fixes the relationship. They do not want harmony. They want control. They keep you in a constant state of exhaustion because that is when they are strongest. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to see the truth. The more drained you are, the harder it is to leave. But there is something you must remember. You do not owe them your energy. You do not owe them your time, your explanations, or endless attempts to repair what they keep breaking. The only way to win this game is to stop playing it. The only way to protect yourself is to recognize the weight they place on you and put it down.